a new podcast out. It's Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat, which is what you can see over there. This is why it's a cat which has a little noose under its neck. If you've read the story, you'll know why that picture is there and why that cat looks like that. It really is a fantastic short story. It's obviously a classic of world literature. And in my opinion, it's one of the most well thought out stories with a lot of very interesting tricks going on that the writer is using. Now, of course, it was written a long time ago in 1840s, 1843, I think it was first published. And that means that it's a very difficult book. Nonetheless, if some of you would like to hear how classics were written and how I would read them aloud, didn't find it easy, actually. It's not a very easy book to read aloud because a lot of the sentences are arranged in a very old-fashioned way, let's say, and that means that it's not going to sound very modern, but it is a classic of literature. The sentences are really complex but really interesting, and so I hope that you all go to my podcast in order to listen to that story. It's not long. It takes 23 minutes and 47 seconds. So you can listen to it on the way to work or something like that. It's basically an audio book which is read out by me. And so if you're interested in that, please head to the podcast. I think that reading stories and listening to stories especially is an excellent way to learn languages. And I think it will be interesting to advanced speakers and natives, certainly, because it really is a great story. It's a great piece of literature. It shows some really skillful writing. And for those of you that follow my classes on parallel structure, you should notice that Edgar Allan Poe was highly aware of parallel structure and of what it is, of what it does, and he uses it as a rhetorical device all the way through this incredibly well-crafted story. So please, anybody who would like to listen to a bit of Poe, I warn you, it's about madness and violence and death and suffering, certainly. So it may not be for everybody, but it is a great piece of literature. It's had a massive influence on the whole world. And in my opinion, if you like the detective genre or the horror genre, or even the science fiction genre, you could argue that Poe came up with all three of those genres, or was one of the first, certainly, to explore all three of those genres. So please, if you would like to listen to some old literature or would just like to listen to a story, then you need to go over to Anchor FM. I will be putting the link under the video, but the link is also here in the chat box. Oh, I haven't got the chat box on the screen. Let's put the chat box on the screen first, eh? Okay, has that worked? I think that's worked. So you can find the link there, or I will put it under the video in a couple of seconds when I edit it. But if you just search on Spotify or Google or Apple for Mr. Skype Lessons, you will find my podcast, and it's the latest release. That's The Black Cat, which is number 9. But you can listen to some of my other podcasts as well, because quite often I do classes, I do lessons, and I read stories aloud, and I'll probably do some new things as well in future. So please come along to Anchor FM if you're interested in new video classes. Great, come along to my Telegram channel. That will be under the video as well. Okay, so I'll keep making on a daily basis new lessons, new podcasts, new video lessons, and I'll keep telling you about where you can find them on this advertising platform. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody.